After a hot day, thunderstorms are expected tonight. I'll have the forecast coming up.
And food insecurity is on the rise. How a local food pantry is working to feed more people in need.
Plus, it is the opening day of Packers training camp. A look at those experiencing their first training camp just ahead. It's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. The feels like factor was above 100 degrees today. But will we get any relief from the heat tonight?
Well, meteorologist Jacob Montesano joins us now with the answer. Jacob?
Although we're going to get some relief, it is still going to be warm, just not quite as warm as it was today. Now, right now, temperatures still very muggy out there, upper 70s to lower 80s, and the feels like temperatures are still in the lower 90s for some locations, upper 80s across Dane County. But if we expand it further out, places to the south are seeing those lower 90-degree heat index values, noticeably cooler, though, for the northern portion of our area. But everyone saw very hot temperatures at one point or another today. Throughout much of the afternoon, heat index values were between 100 and 105. The good news is that we're unlikely to see triple-digit heat index values for the rest of the week, but we're still going to see those heat index values get into the 90s. Now, for tonight, we are expecting some showers and thunderstorms. Right now, it is mostly to the west of us, but a little bit later in the night, we are going to see those storms move into the region, mostly around midnight to 2 a.m., if not a little bit after that. But we are going to see some possible severe weather with these storms, mainly in the form of strong winds. That's really the only severe weather hazard we're going to see. But we also could see some very heavy rain and also a lot of lightning with these storms, and they're going to continue into Thursday morning. Now, even after the morning hours, after this initial line of storms clears out, we still have the chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon hours. So several chances of thunderstorms tomorrow. I'll continue tracking the forecast on that and show you the temperatures following the very hot day today. All those details are still to come.
All right, Jacob, thank you. While many of us worked indoors today, there were plenty of workers across southern Wisconsin who had to work outdoors to help things run smoothly. At the Henry Vilas Zoo, the zookeepers are all assigned to different animals on weather days like this to monitor them for signs similar to what your pets may experience in the heat: heavy panting, reduced energy, even sweating in some cases. But they say they keep their fellow humans in check too for those similar symptoms, and everyone enjoys some sweet treats. For example, the lions, they get frozen meat, orangutans get frozen fruit or fruit in ice, and the humans even get some snacks of their own.
So each species has different favorite foods, and we'll just freeze it up for them, just like we like ice cream when it's really hot outside. We get frozen treats usually. Someone will bring in some popsicles and things for staff that are working outside to have some treats, and we usually have some like electrolyte drinks for us as well. And we try and help each other out to make sure you're not spending any extra time outside, so we can get our outside work done as quickly as possible.
I think somebody was watching her from behind her. Zookeepers say most of the animals they have there are accustomed to Wisconsin weather of the hot summers and the cool winters. And you can track the alert day conditions and heat for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It has hourly planners, weather alerts, and radar. You can download it for free. It's in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
We have an update now on a woman who was reported missing in Platteville. According to University of Wisconsin Platteville spokesperson, the woman has sadly been found dead. Emma Jacobs' body was found following a search by law enforcement yesterday. The Lafayette County Coroner's Office confirmed her identity. Now, Jacobs had been reported missing near the Platteville Mound. According to the coroner, no foul play is suspected, and there is no threat to the public. Police in La Crosse say they have recovered the body of a grad student missing since early Sunday morning. Elliot Hines was last seen on a surveillance camera walking on a street about a block from the Mississippi River. Authorities say the young woman's body was recovered in the river near Brownsville, Minnesota. Hines' mother describes the 22-year-old as a fabulous person with the biggest heart.
More and more people in southwestern Wisconsin are going hungry. That's according to new data released by Second Harvest Food Bank, showing that food insecurity is continuing to rise.
And as our Maddie Heims reports, the need leaves community organizations struggling to keep up.
One guy that came in and he actually apologized for showing up. He said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I just got laid off. Rent's due tomorrow, and I won't be here next week." And I was like, man, that's what we're here for.
Ryan Horton, grocery manager at the River Food Pantry, sees people in need every day.
There's a lot of regulars that they come every single week, or there's people that they come just as they need it.
And since he started, the number of people who come as they need it has essentially doubled.
We did 414 families today, and my first summer, 2021, it was 200 was a very busy day.
And for the area's largest food pantry, that increased need requires increased space.
We are overdue for a new space, really, so it can increase efficiencies and also can help us to increase our services.
River Food Pantry reaching its $12 million capital campaign goal this week, paying for its new facility that's currently under construction.
We're here to be part of the solution.
And while it'll soon be able to serve more families, the River Food Pantry isn't alone in the stretch.
We have to make a lot of decisions day to day on how we can make product last longer.
Distributors like Second Harvest Food Bank see the same demands.
And now we're distributing twice as much food as we were during the height of the pandemic.
Data released by Second Harvest shows that nearly 150,000 people in southwestern Wisconsin don't get the food they need. That's a 13% jump from the year prior.
Things are expensive, so whether it's groceries, gas, childcare, healthcare, less is being provided for those that may be in need.
We're not seeing any relief for this in the near future.
Leaving food banks and pantries trying to fill more plates with less.
If you say you need the help, I want to give you the help. And if you still need help next week or a month down the road, keep coming.
Staff at the River Food Pantry say the goal is to open the new facility early 2026. Reporting on Madison's north side, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
The Literacy Network is facing more federal funding cuts.
The program that helps people of all ages for free is expected to go through adjustments after the nonprofit lost another one of its grants. In April, the Literacy Network also lost $74,000 headed towards its citizenship classes.
So for the whole state of Wisconsin, it's about $7 million. For Literacy Network, it is a grant that is $72,000 a year over 4 years that is lost.
The Literacy Network says it plans to take legal action in response to both federal funding cuts. In the meantime, they say they can use your help by donating your money or time by volunteering, and that would help keep classrooms at full capacity. A new development project in Fitchburg could bring new housing, a bank, and 2 of America's most popular fast food restaurants.
Our Jalen Banks caught up with the city's administrator on this newest development.
The Jamestown Quarry Project is a multi-million-dollar development happening in Fitchburg, right where McKee Road and Fitch Runner Road meet. Now, this is right across the street from where the current Target is in the city right now. This project is set to feature a multi-unit apartment building on the northeastern corner of the site. This as the city of Fitchburg anticipates its population to grow by 17,000 residents in the next 25 years. Now, the most notable part of the project is in the southwestern part of the site. This is set to have a Chase Bank, a car wash, and 2 of the country's most popular fast food chains, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A. Earlier, I spoke with Fitchburg City Administrator Chad Brecklin on what this means for Fitchburg.
And one of the restaurants that we did say when we were looking at, kind of that quick casual was we'd love to have a Chick-fil-A. We know what those restaurants mean to our communities, both not just for the draw for people, both within our community, but in surrounding areas. The attractiveness between employment, recreational, and quality of life. We anticipate our population is going to continue to grow.
Brecklin says they anticipate the multifamily housing completed by the end of this year, with the other parts of the development completed sometime in 2026.
All right, that was Jalen Banks. Thank you. In other news, it was hot out today, but that didn't stop people from going to concerts on the square. Jeans and Classics returned to the square to bring to life the legendary music of Pink Floyd. The concert paid homage to their album Dark Side of the Moon, which first performed here in Madison back in 1973. One attendee says tonight's event was about more than just music.
My dad brought me actually to the concert at Camp Randall back in the 90s. That was one of my first concerts with Pink Floyd, which is awesome. My dad's a little bit older now, so he can't make it down, so I'm here to make it just happen for both of us.
Very cool. The Madison Symphony Orchestra is seeking donations to keep this show going every year. If you're interested, just head to wcoconcerts.org/donate. Well, today was the first day of Packers training camp.
And despite the heat, the players biked from Lambeau to the practice field, as is the tradition. Our Andrew Banster was in Green Bay at the first open practice to catch up with some of the players.
The long ride of the NFL offseason hit the brakes today as the Packers returned to Green Bay, riding their bikes from Lambeau Field to the Ray Nitschke practice field. Find me a cooler tradition in sports. Trust me, you won't. The excitement was in the air for the fans and for the players. A pair of Packer pass catchers told me these guys are already in sync and just happy to be back on the field.
It felt good. It felt like we were in phase. I don't know. It just felt clean still. Not a lot of mistakes. I mean, I false started, but I was all excited. I'm just glad to be out here.
It feels great to be back, man, with all the guys. It's no feeling like this, just being out there back on the grass with everybody.
It's one thing to be excited to be back here and a whole other thing to get to where this team wants to be. This team has Super Bowl dreams, and Jason Weldy, Jordan Love, and Josh Jacobs will talk about just that coming up in sports. For now at Lambeau Field, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Thanks, Andrew. And still to come at 10, the White House continues to face pressure to release documents related to Jeffrey Epstein.
And friends and family of the 4 Idaho college students killed back in 2022 speak out as their murderer is sentenced. That's next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
An Idaho judge sentenced Brian Koberger to life in prison.
The sentencing coming after hours of statements from the families of the 4 college students that he killed in 2022. The judge gave Koberger 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole and said it was time to end his 15 minutes of fame. Dylan Mortensen was in the house the night of the murders and told the court she still suffers from crippling anxiety.
He is a hollow vessel, something less than human. A body without empathy, without remorse. He chose destruction. He chose evil.
Koberger was spared the death penalty as part of a plea deal. He also waived the right to any appeals.
Lawmakers in Texas held their first public hearing today over the response to catastrophic flooding on the 4th of July. They want to know why residents along the Guadalupe River did not receive more warnings ahead of deadly floods. The chief of Texas Department of Emergency Management acknowledged mistakes were made, but he refused to accept sole responsibility for the disaster. He also said the agency was working based on the best weather information available at the time.
The responsibility of being in charge rests with local officials. The forecast then for those 44 counties in that area was again 1 to 3 inches of rain, less likely now 5 to 7.
Additionally, the Department of Emergency Management blamed confusion and a lack of coordination on the ground, outdated equipment, and a failure to properly vet volunteers. The floods killed at least 135 people. 2 people remain missing.
The Trump administration is facing continued calls to release all of the documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. And today, a federal judge denied a DOJ request to unseal grand jury transcripts from the investigation into Epstein. House Speaker Mike Johnson is sending lawmakers for an early summer recess rather than holding votes on releasing all of the Epstein documents.
No one in Congress is blocking Epstein documents. No one in Congress is doing that.
The American people want answers.
The White House also issuing a statement in response to a Wall Street Journal article claiming President Trump was told that his name appears in the Epstein files, saying, quote, "This is nothing more than a continuation of the fake news stories concocted by the Democrats and liberal media."
Now turning to the weather, hot and humid today and more heat and humidity in the forecast.
And Jacob Montesano joins us with how long the warm weather will last.
Yeah, we're going to continue to see temperatures fairly uncomfortable for the rest of the week. The good news is that they're not going to be quite as bad as today, but still expecting heat index values in the lower 90s. And then for Sunday and Monday, they could get back up to the triple digits. Now, I'll get to that in a moment, but I do want to start with the storm chance tonight and for tomorrow. Right now, still not really seeing much across our area, but there are storms further west. And when those storms do move into our area, there is a small chance that they could be severe. Now, they're not going to move into our area until after midnight, maybe closer to around 2 to 3 a.m. But once they do move in, again, could produce some strong winds with these thunderstorms as well as heavy rain. And we also could see some lightning as a hazard. And this is going to be the case during the early morning hours Thursday and also after sunrise Thursday into the morning hours across the area. Now, once we get towards noon and the afternoon, we're still going to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms, a little bit more isolated though, and these chances of storms are expected to continue throughout the afternoon and into the evening as well. So for your Thursday, there pretty much is a chance of rain at any point during the day, but it's not going to rain all day. We'll likely get a few breaks from the rainfall. In fact, a good chunk of the day tomorrow likely will be dry, and especially in the afternoon will likely be dry. But if it does rain during those afternoon hours, expect it to be brief, but it also could be heavy during that time as well. Now, rain will be less likely once we get to Thursday night. Now, we're still seeing some very uncomfortable temperatures at this moment, despite the fact that the sun has set. We're still seeing heat index values in the upper 80s. Now, they're going to improve into the 70s overnight, but once we get to the afternoon hours tomorrow, they're going to be back into the lower 90s to upper 80s. So again, not as bad as the triple-digit heat index values we saw today, but still warm nonetheless. Friday looks like the best day this week for temperatures, as those heat index values only in the middle to upper 80s. And then as we get towards Saturday, we are going to see similar conditions to Friday, but then they're going to continue rising for Sunday and Monday, where Sunday they're likely going to be back into the lower 90s, and Monday they could get back into the triple digits for some areas. So still going to have several days of warm temperatures ahead, but here's the good news. By the time we get to the middle and end of next week, and looking at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, this is pretty much for the beginning of August. It does suggest we are going to see some cooler than average temperatures, which would indicate highs in the 70s. And we could see highs in the 70s for several days in a row once we get to that point, but we still got about 6 days of warm temperatures. Next week, Tuesday, still looks to be warm, but then the middle and end of next week definitely will be on the cooler side. And it's still going to be warm those days as temperatures may hit the lower 80s, but definitely cooler compared to where we were today and where we are going to be for the next couple of days.
All right, Jacob, thank you. It is the opening day of Packers training camp. How Jordan Love and the rest of the team are preparing for the start of the season. Once again, Andrew Banstra will join us from Green Bay next in sports.
There is just something special about being back in Green Bay for the first day of Packers training camp. As the Packers rode their bikes to the practice field, they had dreams of a postseason run. For as much success as the team has had lately, their general manager, Brian Gutekunst, says it's definitely time to make that next step. A step that starts with winning the NFC North and ends by raising the Lombardi Trophy.
You know, when these games get here, there's no second chances, there's no do-overs. You know, every play that, you know, we haven't hit on in those playoff games before, we got to make those teams pay and be able to capitalize. So I think it just starts with that consistency. But we're definitely primed to take that next step. That's the focus and the goal that we talk about every day.
I remember when, last week when the Eagles got their rings, seeing it, I looked at it, I was like, it made me want to come to work. You know, I was like, man, it left a bitter taste in my mouth, and it just made me want to really play and really come in and, you know, give more and demand more. So for me, I don't feel like until I get that trophy, I don't feel like I've accomplished anything, and that's really my number one goal at this point in my career.
And a key piece to that potential run will be the wide receiver room, who had a massive addition this offseason when the Packers selected a wide receiver in the first round for the first time in 23 years that Jaden Reed calls smooth as butter.
My word for him is like smooth. Like, he's very smooth and efficient. You know, when he runs, you know, everything is smooth. You know, he get out of his cuts pretty good, really good. So, yeah, he's a smooth ball player, man. Like, he gonna be very advanced in this league as a rookie.
Definitely smooth. You know, I could get open anywhere on the field. You know, I got that confidence in myself. But just being wherever I need to be on the field, wherever the coaches want me to be, I'm going to do my best to my ability to get open.
And of course, every team in the NFL is going to say that they have dreams of raising that Lombardi Trophy. What's it going to take for this team to do that?
A lot of guys that are good players that have shown flashes of being really good players but haven't done it consistently. That starts with Jordan Love, the entire wide receiver room, a bunch of guys on defense. That's what this is really about, is can those players be consistently at a high level? And if they do that, then a trophy is realistic.
We got our first glimpse at seeing Matthew Golden out with the guys today. Did you see any flashes of special from him? And even if you didn't, what do you think he can be for this squad?
Yeah, you know, Andrew, these are not what training camp generally is, right? These are kind of ramp-up practices. So, yeah, he caught a touchdown from Malik Willis. Great. What I thought was the most interesting thing, I spent some time with Matthew after the practice, and he said that when he was 6 years old, he wrote on his mirror that he wanted to be a first-round pick. And he did that every year at every other place he lived through kind of a challenging childhood. And he's still writing different things now that he's achieved that goal, on his mirror at home now. So I'm guessing his goal is to have a big impact and help him win a Super Bowl.
Well, that would be the plan for the end of this season, and we'll be covering this team all year long. But for now, for Jason, I'm Andrew Banstra signing off from Lambeau Field with News 3 Sports.
Tonight, Colbert's All New with Steve Buscemi.
We only have one safety concern. Seagull!
CBS Tonight.
So the mascot of the Savannah Party Animals poked fun at that viral moment when a couple tried to hide from the camera during the Coldplay concert. We all remember this from last week. Footage posted by the team's opponent, the Savannah Bananas, one of my personal faves, showed the Party Animals mascot Party pretending to be caught on camera with an unnamed woman.
Of course,
and
we
kids cheering.
And we all remember that last week when astronomer CEO Andy Byron and his chief people officer Kristen Cabot went viral. They were captured on camera during the Coldplay concert near Boston, and since then we've seen all these thousands of posts online with many parodies, different people parodying that event. It doesn't end. And now the Savannah Bananas. Joining in the fun.
It's really something that has brought this country together. I
Yeah,
gotta tell you.
the one thing. Yeah.
Well put. So we have a forecast that's still pretty hot and muggy.
Yeah, it's not going to be as bad as today, but we're still going to have actual temperatures get into the middle 80s with heat index values likely in the lower 90s at times. Now, once we get to Sunday and Monday, we could see a return of the triple-digit heat index values, but still a bit unclear as to if we will reach that level. We also will see a few chances of storms over the next couple of days. Good chance of storms tonight and for most of tomorrow, and then another good chance of storms will return on Saturday. Could also see some storms Friday, and then more storms for Monday and Tuesday. Then we get to the middle of next week, and we're looking drier and a lot more comfortable, lower 80s, upper 70s for highs. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to that middle of next week. That's what I'm looking towards.
I'm looking at it like we have 1 week to go.
Yeah, right?
We can handle it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, enjoy it. Enjoy the warm weather. We don't want it crazy hot, but
I'd rather have it.
Winter will start.
I'd rather
We'll
have
30 days.
I'd rather have 30 degrees than today. Not even kidding.
I don't know. Not me.
Me too.
Jacob, thank you.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 10. Coming up is The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Have a great night.